Well, welcome to the Virtual College Exploration for all Missouri students. And this is sponsored by the Missouri Association for College Admissions Counseling and StarScan. So thank you for joining us this evening. I do have a few housekeeping announcements to share with you before we get started. So you can use the Q&A button on your screen to type questions that you have for our presenters. Use it anytime. Your camera and your microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. And this is just one of many sessions. So we want to encourage you to be sure, go back, check out the schedule that you can find available at MOACAC.org. Now this presentation is being recorded and it will be available in about a week at that same website, MOACAC.org, so you can view it again later if you like. Now at this time, I am going to turn the session over to our presenters.
All right, hi everyone. My name is Stephanie and I am the Emporia State representative for Kansas City. And I have a quick PowerPoint that I want to pull up here really quickly, so I'm going to bring that up. But here at ESU, we are known as the School of Endless Opportunities. And what that means is whether you want to become a nurse because you like helping people in your community, seeing them live well to the fullest potential that they can, whatever you want to do here at ESU. And we're a small public university located in Emporia, Kansas. So we're right between Topeka, Kansas City, Wichita, those areas, all within 90 minutes. But what's really nice about Emporia State is we have an 18-to-1 student to professor ratio. So if you're looking for small class sizes and opportunities to get involved, those are a few things that we offer here. Also, a lot of our students do participate in internships. So about 70% regardless of majors. But what I really like about ESU is we have a 96% placement rate. So once students graduate, 96% of them are getting jobs, which are really nice. Or within 6 months going off to graduate school or med school. So you have a lot of great options once you graduate. Now I'm going to shift gears and talk a little bit about some of our degrees here. We have a little over 200 plus academic programs in a few different colleges. The first one here on your slide is the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. So it's divided into 3 sections. You have STEM, humanities, and then you also have the fine arts section. And this is one of our largest colleges as well here on campus, but a few degrees within here would be nursing and biology, and those are 2 of our most popular majors. We also have the Teachers College, and so something that's really unique with Emporia State is we started off as a Teachers College way back in 1863, but also we have not only that history of producing excellent teachers, but our students will actually student teach for an entire year rather just a semester. These students also get the opportunity to study abroad their senior year if they'd like to do that as well, which is kind of neat. And then we have a School of Business, and something unique to our School of Business is that we are double ACSB accredited. So what that means is we are one of the top 5% of universities where all of our business faculty and professors have to have the highest degree obtainable in their field. So you're really learning from the professors themselves and getting that good hands-on learning experience. And an experience that you can take from college and be able to apply that to the real world after you graduate. And then finally, we do have an honors college. So this is something that was recently new within the past few years and something we're super excited about. But the honors college goes beyond academics. They focus a lot on community engagement and leadership. So the honors college is also a great opportunity for students. And then we finally lead into getting involved. So there's several ways for students to get involved on campus. We have over 150 student organizations. Now, one of my favorite things to talk about is cost and scholarships because ESU offers flat rate tuition, and we also offer in-state tuition to students located in the Missouri as well as the Oklahoma territories. But mainly, if you're located in the Kansas City metro area, you do qualify for in-state tuition, and you can also take as many classes as you'd like for one flat fee or price. It also contributes to us having one of the lowest student debts in the state of Kansas. And then we do also offer a few different scholarships. The Presidential Scholarship is one of our popular scholarships. And this is where, as long as you have a 3.0 or 21 or higher, you can qualify for a minimum starting amount of $1,000. And then finally, my last slide here our admission requirements. We now accept a 2.25 GPA or a 21 on your ACT to be admitted. And so that kind of concludes my presentation here for this portion. And I appreciate you listening. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me.
Thanks so much for getting us started, Stephanie, with Emporia State. My name is Kaylee Sending, and I am the Kansas State University admission representative. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my screen shared here real quick, but I graduated from K-State back in December 2016 with my degree in journalism, mass communications, and a minor in leadership studies. Love K-State so much, I never wanted to leave. So I still get to work for the university and just really help you navigate your college search process, especially during this unprecedented time, and serve as your connection to K-State. So I have some fast facts here about K-State. We're a public Tier 1 research institution located in Manhattan, Kansas. So that's about 5.5 hours away from St. Louis, just 2 hours west of Kansas City. And we are about 60,000 people in Manhattan, which is really cool because it's kind of a nice hybrid between a big city, because you still have all of your big city amenities. You have your Walmart, your Target, your shopping mall, movie theaters, all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, it still has a small town charm. There's lots of locally owned restaurants and businesses that are really fun. You'll see on here we are the number 4 in the country for town-gown relationships by the Princeton Review. That means we have a really good relationship with the Manhattan community. Manhattan loves K-State students. K-State students try to give back to Manhattan community whenever we can. Manhattan is very much a classic college town. So I definitely hope you all can visit Manhattan to see it for yourself. We are a Division I school in the Big 12 Conference. One thing I love about that is we have lots of opportunities for students, but at the same time, you're not going to feel lost in the crowd because we have an 18:1 student to faculty ratio, and our average class size is 26 students. 90% of our classes will be under 50 students. And I know for me at K-State, by the time I got to my sophomore year, I never had a class over 50 students. So you'll get to know your professors really well, as well as your classmates. My favorite statistic on the slide is going to be we're the number 1 college in the country with the happiest students. Sometimes we like to call Manhattan Manhappiness. And we like the Princeton Review because students are the ones voting. So students decide these. K-State students are very, very friendly. Everyone loves their college. Everyone's wearing purple, just very prideful to be a K-Stater. So there's just this certain atmosphere and buzz when you step on campus that's just really exciting. And we want students to be happy while they're at K-State, but we want you to be happy with the return of investment you get from a K-State degree. You'll see that we have a 97% job placement rate. So 97% of our students have a job or continue their education within 6 months. And our college graduates have the number 1 starting salary in Kansas. There's a lot of different options for you academically. I know that's a big factor in your college decision-making process. We have over 250 majors and programs, which is the most in the Big 12 Conference. I'm gonna click on this link here so you can see how you can explore your options a little bit more to learn more specifically about each degree, or if you just know a general area, you can explore interest areas. Some of our most popular majors for Missouri students are architecture. We are consistently ranked top 10 in the country. We just renovated our building so every student has their own studio space. Engineering is also really popular. We have 13 majors, including our newer majors, environmental and biomedical engineering, and there's 60 specific tracks students can choose. And then business, we're one of the top 30 business schools to hire from. You can see a picture there on the top left for business, top right for engineering. We also have a lot of students coming to K-State to prepare for health professional schools. On average, our students are accepted at a rate about 15% higher than the national average in 2 health profession schools. We are partnered with Wichita State. Wichita State's gonna have a satellite nursing program in Manhattan, which we're super excited about because students will be able to get a dual degree, one from K-State, one from Wichita State with their BSN, and be in Manhattan for the entire time. So I know academics are one thing that you're considering when you're trying to choose a college, but also how can you get involved once you're there? There are so many ways that you can get involved from undergraduate research, and you can do research in anything. A lot of our students are presenting at national conferences and getting published as an undergraduate. You can study abroad at 85 different countries, or you can choose one of our 500 clubs and organizations to get involved in. There's a little bit of everything, maybe something with your major, or we have a scroll watching club or intramurals, just whatever you're interested in. There's lots of choices, and we have an activity for the first week of school where you can learn more about them. And then 20% of our students are involved in fraternity and sorority life. Big 12 Division I sports are also super fun. This picture is not from Saturday because we only had a quarter of our students in the, or quarter fans in the stadium, but still gives you a good feel there. Now I want to talk about some important dates. I'm actually going to skip ahead here and go back, sorry. But our application for admission is now open. We are test optional, so you do not need your ACT score to apply to K-State. You will automatically be admitted if you either have a 3.25 GPA, weighted or unweighted, and or big emphasis on the or, 21 on the ACT. So you do not need it to apply. We will super score for both admissions and scholarships. We are on the Common App, but you can also apply through K-State's website. And now I'm going to go back to the slide because I want to be sure you apply to K-State by December 1st for scholarships. And I have some really, really exciting news for Missouri residents. We just got announced very recently that students from Missouri have the opportunity to qualify for in-state tuition. So this is going to be through our brand new Missouri Tuition Match program. So if you have a 3.25 GPA and a 22 ACT, you apply to K-State by December 1st, you will automatically get in-state tuition. So that's going to be a huge savings. So that's going to bring it down to a total cost of attendance, you can see at the bottom, to $22,000 a year. So we really want to make sure that college is affordable and out-of-state experience is affordable. So we just announced that. You can find that on our website. I put the link there, but you'll hear more about that from us later. So we're really excited to announce that. And just know that we will be accepting ACT scores for all of our scholarships through April 30th. So if you apply, just send us your ACT scores throughout the year if you're still taking it. But we really want to connect with you more. So we would love for you to join us for one of our virtual visits. We do those Tuesdays and Thursdays. You can meet with an academic area of choice. We also do in-person visits Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So you can see why K-State's has the happiest students in the country, and just see if it feels like a good place to call home. You can see at the bottom I have a Calendly link. So if you want to meet with me one-on-one, you can go to calendly.com/meet-AR-Kaylee, and I would love to chat more about what opportunities K-State can offer you specifically. Thank you, and go Cats.
Alrighty, thank you so much, Kaylee. I am going to go ahead and get us going, and I'm going to share my screen here really quick, just make sure that I have things up and running. My name is Erin Woods, and I'm an admissions representative for the University of Kansas, and I am so excited to be joining you tonight with my fellow Kansans. And talking to folks from the Midwest generally just brings me a lot of joy. As Kaylee was saying with her K-State experience, I was so obsessed with my time at KU that they couldn't stop me from coming back once I got my degree. I actually transferred to KU. I had experiences at both a private four-year institution and a community college before coming to KU. And I know this sounds really cheesy, but the very first time I ever stepped foot on KU's campus, I was with my very best friend, and I looked at her and I said, completely seriously, I thought this feeling only existed in the movies. I have been a Jayhawk absolutely ever since. I am obsessed with this experience and everything that we have to offer. And, you know, when I was thinking about what I wanted to share with you today, I could have gone on for hours. So summing this up into just about 7 minutes was a little bit difficult, but today I want to focus on some things that I know make KU a really great place to be a student. So the first part of that is just going to be the academics that we offer. I know, you know, when you're thinking about college, you're thinking about where that's going to take you in the future. And one thing that we're very proud to offer is that we are a member of the Association of American Universities. Now, this is a pretty cool organization if you do have some time to look it up, but really what this means is that we are very fortunate to be within 0.1% of institutions of higher education across the United States that consistently bring in over 60% of research dollars. We are the only AAU institution in the state of Kansas, and when it comes to what this means for your academic journey, it means a lot of things, but I'm going to focus on two very specific points. One is going to be that we have truly industry-leading faculty. From experience, you're going to have amazing faculty anywhere you go, but we're very, very fortunate at KU to truly have people who are generating knowledge every single day. A couple of the folks I really like to talk about are people like Brian McClendon, who's actually a KU graduate, and after graduating, he went on to invent Google Earth and Google Maps. He went on to be a VP at both Google and Uber, and is now back here at KU teaching our undergraduate engineering students. Fun fact, he also only accepts a salary of $1. The rest of it he gives away as endowed scholarships to KU students. But on the humanities side of things, we also have amazing folks. It's not just located in STEM, although we are doing really amazing things there. We also have folks like Kevin Wilmot, who's an Oscar Award winner for his work on the film BlacKkKlansman with Spike Lee. And he actually got to wear a suit at the Oscars that he bought at a department store in downtown Lawrence. So it's a very, very special place to be, where you're meeting with faculty members who are not just great at what they do, but are the people who are referenced across the country as the leaders in their areas. Even folks like Peter Hurl, who's a chemistry professor at KU, who wrote the textbook that is now commonly used at a lot of universities across the country. So that's one big benefit that I know I really felt at KU. I only spent 3 years there cumulatively after transferring for my very first year. And in that time, my professors published 7 textbooks. And that was so incredible to me because, again, it was just that moment of feeling like I was getting the best knowledge from the people who were really the experts at what they were doing. But what really went above and beyond for me was not just that we had great faculty, but that we truly excel at the undergraduate research experience. And this is something that distinguishes us even from other AAU institutions that do tend to focus on graduate level research. Here at KU, we want to make sure that every single student, regardless of their position in their academic career, has those opportunities. I felt this really strongly at KU, and I saw how important it is because as an English major and as somebody with a Spanish minor, and as a first-generation low-income student, research was not something that I thought I could do. It was something that wasn't even on my mind and I assumed wasn't even possible. And I saw my best friend doing research in chemical engineering, and let me just tell you, I was so jealous. I wanted to be doing similar things because she was working on making the field of chemical engineering more environmentally friendly. And because of the professors that I had and because of how excellent we are here, with our focus on undergraduate research, I was able to do my own research into 17th century French fairy tales, which if you would have told me when I was a senior in high school that I could have even been interested in that, I would have absolutely believed that you're lying. But it's these kind of outside of the classroom opportunities, what we like to think of as experiential learning, that make this education really special. One other facet of this that I'm going to touch on briefly is our study abroad focus here. KU triples the national average in terms of students who study abroad during their undergraduate career, and we do go to over 60 countries on programs that go as short as a week to as long as a year. And even as a first generation low income student, I was able to study abroad 4 times at KU. And as Missouri residents, something that might be helpful for you is that Missouri students and students coming from all over the country can study abroad at the in-state rate. So there are a lot of great opportunities to really learn outside of the classroom. And this certainly extends to where we're located as well. Lawrence, Kansas is one of my favorite places on planet Earth. We're consistently ranked a top 10 college town, and it's just a really happy place to be. But really one of the biggest differentiators for us with Lawrence is that we're located so close to 2 major metropolitan areas, with Topeka, our state capital, just about 25 minutes to the west, and the Kansas City metro area located just about 45 minutes away to the east. Now, these are really great for a lot of social opportunities, for maximizing that classic college experience that Lawrence has and that you can capitalize on there. But really what this means, as far as professional opportunities for our students, is incredible access to internships. Our students frequently have internships at the exact same time as they are taking classes, and might even be working on a capstone course and going up on evenings and weekends to have internships at Fortune 500 companies, at one of the over 500 engineering firms in the KC area, or even with a professional sporting team. So these are the kinds of opportunities that when students have access to these and they can put that on their resume, that makes them that much more competitive for whatever they're looking at for life after graduation. Now, I want to make sure we touch a little bit on logistics. I want to make sure you have a pretty good idea. Please contact me if you need any of this information. I was trying to condense as much as I humanly could, but we do offer stellar scholarships for our out-of-state students, and starting with a 24 ACT and a 3.25 GPA, we will be able to start awarding you scholarship money. Now, much like Kaylee said, though, December 1st is also an important date for us, and I want to make sure that you apply for admission by December 1st to be scholarship eligible. We are still requiring test scores, but as long as you apply by December 1st, if you keep taking the ACT through February and update us by April 1st, we will update your scholarship eligibility as well. One other final detail I want to make sure that you know is that we are test optional for admission this year. So with a 3.4 GPA, you can now be admitted without a test score. Please feel free to take down my information below. I know I blew through that information kind of fast, but I'm so happy to have been able to share a little bit about why I love this place so much. And rock chalk.
Awesome, thank you, Erin. So my name is Paige Vanderlinden, and I take over now talking to you a little bit about Washburn. So I'm going to share my screen as well here. All right, so we'll go ahead and get started with a few quick facts about Washburn. Maybe if we can get it to go. There we go. So Washburn has a student body population of about 6,500 students, and our average class size is less than 30. Our classes really cap at about 40 students, so you're never going to sit in a huge lecture hall by any means. All of those classes are going to be pretty small. We are 60% traditional students and have a 12-to-1 student to faculty ratio, so you're going to really have a lot of opportunities to get to know your professors. In addition to that, 96% of our faculty do have a PhD in their field or have the highest degree that is available. So not only do you get to know them, you know that they really know what they're talking about. We have over 200 programs at Washburn as well, and we award about $53 million in scholarships and financial aid annually, and we offer NCAA Division II athletics. Talk now a little bit about what your student at Washburn could be like. So we have over 125 student organizations. That does include Greek life, if that's something that you're interested in. All of our athletic events on campus are actually free for students to go to. So if you want to go to any one of the sports listed there, that is free for you. You don't have to pay anything additional to go to any of those. Our Student Recreation and Wellness Center on campus is actually ranked in the top 50 in the US, and we're the only school in the state of Kansas to be ranked in that, and that's schools of all sizes, which is pretty cool. So that's a nice facility, and again, you don't have to pay anything additional besides your tuition in order to get into there. We do offer 4 different styles of residence halls here on campus. All of those are going to be suite style though, so you will have a bathroom in your room. There's no community style bathrooms in any of our halls that are on campus. So this is a couple pictures from Lincoln Hall. This is our newest residence hall that was just built in 2016. So you see that picture on the left there. This kind of shows you a little bit about what the room looks like. And in the background, you can see our Lincoln dining area. So this is an all-you-can-eat buffet. They have all sorts of good food in there always, and there's an ice cream machine, the most important things. This is the Living Learning Center. This is another one of our popular options for first-year students. These are all also suite style, like I was saying. So these are going to be all 4-person suites. So you have like 2 bedrooms with 2 people, and then 1 bathroom to share amongst you and your 3 other roommates. So we wanted to talk to one of our current students who was in your shoes not too long ago. So this is Abby. She's a graduate of Raymore Peculiar High School. She graduated back in 2016. And we asked her why she chose Washburn rather than staying in Missouri. And she said, I chose Washburn over other Missouri schools because Washburn had many opportunities that I could not find in Missouri. There was a sense of community the minute I stepped on campus. Every person I came in contact was helpful and willing to answer any of my questions. And there was an opportunity to grow my personality that I could not find anywhere else. And that's definitely evidenced by the number of things that Abby's gotten involved with while she's been on campus. She's been a peer educator. She's been a senator for our Washburn Student Government Association. She's a member of the Alpha Phi sorority. She's been a resident assistant, a summer orientation counselor, a recruitment counselor, and she's currently the president of our ambassadors organization. So there are tons of different opportunities to get involved, and you can really get your hands on a lot of different things. So we'll talk a little bit now about academics. Like I said, we have over 200 programs here at Washburn. Those programs are housed in the College of Arts and Sciences, School of Applied Studies, School of Business, School of Law, School of Nursing, and at the Washburn Institute of Technology. And if you're wondering about any specific degrees that we offer within those areas, you can go to that link down there at the bottom, which is washburn.edu/AOS, or Area of Study. So we are located in Topeka, so we're just about an hour from the Kansas City metro area. And there's a lot of advantages to being in Topeka because it is the capital city of Kansas. So we are pretty centrally located within the city, which means we're close to a lot of local shopping and really good places to eat. Topeka companies definitely recognize the benefits of a Washburn degree and hire a lot of our Washburn graduates if you're looking to stay in this area. There are also a lot of internship and employment opportunities, whether it's while you're still in school or after. So we have businesses like Frito-Lay, Payless Shoe Source, Hills, Mars, Goodyear. All of those offer different internship opportunities for our business majors. We are located within a mile of 3 major hospitals, and there's many clinics in the city of Topeka. So for our nursing and other health-related fields, there are lots of those opportunities for clinical experiences. For political science, literally 5 to 10 minutes from the Topeka Capitol. And I know many people who have had internship experiences working for representatives there. For criminal justice students, we have the Topeka Police Department, of course. Kansas Highway Patrol offices are located here. And then actually on campus, we have the Kansas Bureau of Investigations lab. So there are opportunities there that you can work with people who are actually working in the KBI and use the same equipment that they use in their everyday jobs. Finally, for education majors, we have 7 Shawnee County public school districts and private schools for those student teaching opportunities. There's always a lot of fun things going on in Topeka. There's always something to go do. We have the Kansas Expo Center just about a mile from campus, and they have a ton of different opportunities and things that they bring in there all the time. We have the Noda Arts District downtown, the Topeka Performing Arts Center, and the Topeka Civic Theater as well. And then we have a group through the city of Topeka called Forge, which is a young professionals group. So you can meet other young professionals who are out working in the area and learn more about the different opportunities that there are in Topeka. So now we'll talk a little bit about financial aid and cost of attendance. So the most important thing to know is that for Missouri residents, you are automatically qualified for in-state tuition. Nothing additional you have to do to that, and you can get scholarships on top of that. So our tuition rate per credit hour is $309. We just have one student activity fee. It's $110 per year or $55 per semester. So you see our total there for students living on off campus, but then if you're living on campus, of course you have those room and board and meal plan fees as well. So your all-inclusive total is just shy of about $18,000 a year. And like I said, on top of that, you can get academic scholarships. So our academic scholarships start at a 3.0 and a 21 ACT. We are test optional for admission to the university, but for scholarships, we are not test optional. So for just admissions purposes, you have to have a 2.25 GPA or a 21 on the ACT, but for scholarships, you do have to have at least a 3.0 and at least a 21. So I kind of started talking about this already, but as far as the application goes, it's all online. It's pretty straightforward. It'll only take you about 10 to 15 minutes to complete. There is a one-time non-refundable $20 application fee that goes along with that, which is pretty standard. Be sure to have your official high school transcript sent to us when you do apply. If you're taking the ACT soon, be sure to write down our code there, which is 1474. If you just plug that in on your ACT account, then that'll have the scores automatically sent to us afterwards. And once you've applied, you can track your admission status, track any of those supplemental items like your transcripts and ACT scores, events all through that account you've created to apply. So we are still doing on-campus events. We have our first Ichabod Day coming up here in just a couple of weeks, and we do have personalized campus visit opportunities as well, which you can find on our website at www.washburn.edu.
Jill, I think it's your turn next for Wichita.
Well, I beg your pardon. I will go next. I was thinking I went after you. I'm sorry. All right. Let me go ahead and begin with this then. Thank you so much. Hello. I am delighted to be with you this evening. For Missouri students, I work with all of Missouri. So I have a few slides I want to share with you about Wichita State. I'm a Missouri native. I grew up in Missouri, and it is an honor for me to share with Missouri students in information about Wichita State in their college search. So I have a few points I want to go over, and I'm going to go quickly knowing that this will be recorded and you can look at these more thoroughly a little bit later on. When I thought about what ways does Wichita State help Missouri students and what can we offer Missouri students, I thought about 5 different ways, and these are the different categories that I thought really we excel in, specifically as it relates to Missouri students. Our quality academic programs, we have about 230 areas of study for you to go into, but that is not, along with that quality academic program focus, our applied learning experience is really what I think is important. So let's look a little bit about what that applied learning experience means. We think that the book knowledge, the classroom experience is very important, but in tandem with that, having real world experiences or applied learning experiences is our focus. We like to consider ourselves the center for applied learning. And all of these pictures that you can see here are examples of students who are getting that applied learning experience. They are working with companies in Wichita. We have even buildings and businesses right on our campus as part of that partnership with the business world, the real world, so to speak, with our academic world. So when you combine those two, it gives students a broader perspective about their major, more experience in their major, and certainly, of course, at the end, makes them more salable to an employer once they graduate. So we talk about the applied learning experience. How about the affordability? For Missouri students, you will pay either of these 2 fees, the Kansas resident or Shocker City fees, the $8,000 range fee, or the $11,000 range fee. There is no county in Missouri that will pay the non-resident fees because we have tuition discounts for all counties. So we are affordable in that way. Specifically, for those of you who are in these counties that are listed here, you pay as if you are an in-state student. And there is no GPA requirement, no ACT requirement. That is solely based on the geography of your residence. So you would pay as if you're an in-state. If you are in any other county than those that I just mentioned that were part of our Shocker City partnership, you will receive a 33% discount off on your non-resident tuition. So for all counties in Missouri, Wichita State is quite affordable. We have that just as part, again, of your geography. With that, you will also be able to use scholarships, and you can use those in addition to getting those tuition discounts. I have listed some here. These are our automatic scholarship based on your ACT score, at least a 22 ACT, and you just take that ACT and look at where your GPA is, and you can figure out what you would automatically receive. And again, I know you'll be able to look at those details a little bit more later. But also we have numerous competitive scholarships. Now, those that I mentioned earlier, these do require an ACT score. The competitive scholarships are test optional. One of the options, if you notice down here in the bulleted points, you can get these scholarships based on an ACT of 27 or an SAT equivalent, or you can have a 3.5 GPA or rank in the top 10% of your class, and those are or situations. So you do need to apply for, submit your admission application materials by October 15th, and then the deadline for the scholarship materials is November 1st. This lists the website where you would go to find out more about all of those competitive scholarships. This one that I mentioned, I'm going to go back to that slide. This is just one of those scholarships, the Distinguished Scholarship Invitational, DSI. We have many more than that you will find at this website. It did just go live this week, so you can apply for those now. The other factor I think that really is a plus as far as the Wichita State campus is, and a plus for Missouri students, what you want from your college experience, is the diversity on our campus. And I've listed here our diversity of ethnicity. But we have a diversity of socioeconomic status, a diversity of religious affiliation, a diversity of geographic origin, students from many different places and countries. So when I think of what you really want out of a university experience, that is such an important component. And that is certainly one of the pluses of the Wichita State campus and Wichita as a city. When I talk about accessibility, that factor, we are accessible. Look at our criteria for admission, a 2.5 GPA, or, and I think that my picture may be in the way there, but an ACT score of 21. So if you meet either of those, we are test optional for admission purposes. So if you meet either of those, you would qualify for admission. Notice you can apply at our own application, or we do accept the Common App. There is a $40 application fee, but again, with that accessibility, we will waive that for students who qualify. Perhaps you're in the AVID program, or you qualify for free or reduced lunch, whatever, we will waive that if it is applicable to you. We also do not require you to have your transcript sent initially. We do want that when you graduate in May of next year, but we will accept self-reported scores. I want to mention a few programs that we have coming up. The website at the top, wichita.edu/visit, is where you would go to register for these. This next Wednesday night, September 23rd, is our Discover WSU Missouri program. It's a virtual program. I highly encourage you across Missouri to sign up for that. Students, bring your parents to this virtual program. We also have virtual campus visits, and we are giving on-campus, in-person visits on our campus right now. And you go to that same website as well. Or if a Saturday is your preferred date, you could go come on either of those Saturdays as well. If you are looking at this recording and it's past this date, please know that there are many other opportunities listed at that website at the top throughout the fall and throughout next spring for you to look at to see what is available to you. So I want to put my contact information, because I feel as if I've raced through this for 7 minutes, but I want to put my contact information there so you can call or email me if you have any questions, and if I can assist you at all with your search toward Wichita State. So thank you, and go Shockers. I think I'll leave it open now to Washburn. Thanks.
Yes, thank you everyone so much for presenting today. Thank you to all the Missouri students who came out for this fair today. We really enjoyed being able to share all of our universities with you today. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the Q&A box down below, and one of our representatives will be more than happy to answer them. If you have any questions, once again, after this, please feel free to reach out to any of the representatives. And if any representatives have any last minute things to say, feel free to do so now.
I would like to hop in really quickly and just let you all know too that we are offering in-person visits now at KU. I was realizing as soon as I was hearing my colleagues mention that I had failed to say the same. So we are absolutely welcoming you here onto campus. If you go to visit.ku.edu or send me an email, and I can help you find the best visit opportunity for you, so that way we can really make sure we're meeting your needs. But I did want to make sure that you were well aware of that.
Awesome, thank you, Erin. And I do want to say, I know right now during these uncertain times, it may be very difficult to make this choice to go out of state to a Kansas university when your family is back home. I do know I've talked with a lot of our out-of-state students that we have who work in our office at Washburn University and asked them how the decision was for them to come back to our university this year. And they did say why it was difficult. They knew they were going to feel safe at Washburn. And I'm sure many other students have said the same things for our other Kansas universities. We are trying to make our schools as safe as possible for you guys. So I do want to give you that option. Just remember, don't cut us out just because of what's going on in the world right now. We are going to keep you safe, and we will make that same promise to your parents as well, because we care about you and we want you to make sure that every opportunity is available for you inside of Missouri or outside of Missouri. So I just want to make that very clear here at the end. Awesome.
Well, it's good to see everyone again. Students, if you have any final questions, we have a few moments for you to ask them. Otherwise, I'll be wrapping the session up in just a minute. Otherwise, don't hesitate to reach out to each of these representatives as you do think of questions, and access the recording as well, and you'll have their information. Since I don't see any questions, I just want to thank everyone for joining us. When the window closes, there will be a very quick 4-question survey for the students to complete. We do appreciate any feedback that you can provide. Also, I do want to encourage you to visit the website to see what other sessions you may find beneficial. And again, that website is moacac.org. And then in about a week, you will be able to find the session recording, as well as other session recordings that we will make available to you. Well, thank you for attending. I wish everyone a safe and wonderful evening. We appreciate your time.